Everyone, thanks a lot for coming down. We got a couple startups right here. We got Paisley and Divy that are going to talk about some of their projects that they're working on. And
hello.
Take it from here, Keller.
All right. Super exciting. This is the first time I've broke it out of the box and showed it around. So I've been coming to these events here for a couple years now, and here we are, finally at the moment. So Paisley is it's a fintech platform for personalized cash flow. So I'm going to start with where it came from. When I was 23, I started my first internet company, and I've done a lot of business and traveled all around the world, making all kinds of creative, technical projects come true. And at one point, I was in Bali, Indonesia, and I had gotten hit by a van while I was riding the motorcycle, and it completely, well, I almost died. And so, completely changed my life. And one of the things that changed was my financial situation. I was decimated. All of my savings were drained. I ended up staying with friends and family for about a year. Took me a while to even be able to spend an hour focused on a computer. So over this time, I couldn't earn, and I was thinking a lot about money. And so one of the things I thought about was, because I had been an engineer, an experienced engineer that had created successful tech companies, I was looking at this problem in a new way. And I started thinking, there's got to be some way that as I make money, as I get on my feet, just like all the people in America or throughout the world that are in the same position I'm in, with savings drained and in debt in some way to some institution or to friends or family, there's got to be something that I can connect to my bank account that's going to help me manage my money so I can just focus on making money. Right? So, and the way I started thinking about this was, I just want my money to trickle where it needs to go. And I want it to do it intelligently. So I started imagining what this would look like. And as I did that, these are statistics about how miserable Americans are at saving and how deep we are in debt with friends and family. So I started looking around at what was out there. You guys might know, if you're familiar with financial tech apps, money apps, there's apps to save, there's apps to donate, there's apps to invest. And a lot of these have a pre-baked formula for how you're going to do that. If it fits, fantastic. And you got this great smart app that you can fit on your bank account like a prosthetic, and it just goes to work. It solves you, and you're good to go. For me, I didn't find anything that fit. So I'm like trying to kind of have this angst, like, I need something. So I started to think, well, I know how I want to do it for me. I want to be able to choose how I want my money to flow. And I don't want to just save with it. I want to pay my mom back. I want to give to this charity when I can. So our whole platform is really about conditional dynamic movement of money for a person. And as you get deeper, I mean, beyond here, you could hook this up for any institution as well. So there's this giant gap there, and I'm like, okay, I'm going to make this app. So I don't think we have audio, so I'm just going to narrate this video to give us a little look at how Mary uses Paisley. Meet Mary. Ah. Hey, I'm Mary. Okay. Meet Mary. Mary's a freelance web designer. When her rent is due and her clients are late to pay, sometimes she has to take loans from her mom. She wishes there was a way she could automatically pay her mom back as her clients pay her. Then she hears about Paisley, the app where you can create your own money plans and automate them. Now Mary can create a plan that pays her mom from her checking account in as many payments as it takes. She can pay as often as she wants, starting when she wants, to pay off the total she owes. She can send a simple payment, or she can send a percentage of what she has in the bank. Mary loves that she can skip payments when money's tight, or fast forward, paying out bigger chunks when she's got money to spare. All that's left is for Mary to decide if she wants her payments to flow automatically, or if she wants to approve them as they go out. That's it. Now Mary can breathe easy, knowing that Paisley's always at work for her, paying off her debts, donating to her favorite causes, and saving for her future. So she can focus on other things. So nonprofits, that's where we're starting. We're making a donation button that allows charities to be able to take donations tomorrow. So there's no excuse. Either you care or you don't. Either you want to give to this charity or you don't care. So I can say the next time I've got $5,000 in my account, this charity's getting $100. So now we're giving people a tool, millennials, any of us that just want to be able to do something. We might not have the funds today to have a savings plan, to pay somebody back, to give, to invest in the future, to buy Bitcoin after that. Put your money where you want it, when you want it. So with Paisley, you can create a plan, and it exists. You can unplug from the switchboard of your mind and plug into Paisley so you can have that cognitive energy free to just focus on making money. Personalization is what we're all about. It's a personal tool. We just get out of the way. This is just a fun note. We're going to have skins as well. A lot of apps out there are forcing their tools down your throat. They're saying this is the way it is, take it or leave it. We are exactly not that. We are a tool where you can create your own way of moving money. And part of that is personalization. So as a deepening of the theme of personalization, we're allowing people to toggle the way they want their app to look. It can look just like a bank, all white and clean. We've got Prague mode, New York mode, California, Silver Lake, whatever vibe you like, you can be on there. Goth mode and cat mode, we're taking a poll right now.
Yes, to those.
That's what that looks like. So that's Paisley. I hope you all hop on the website. We're in a private beta right now, and so I'd love to personally invite anybody here who's interested to come and check out the app and start using it.
Cool.
Thank you.
What's your Twitter handle?
Twitter is Paisley without the dot. Paisley app.
Cool.
Yeah.
And is there any questions from any of you, like, of whatever?
Are you looking for funding?
Yes, we are. We're opening a fundable campaign within 2 weeks, so we'll be up there. And anybody's welcome to email me at keller@Paisley. Oh, you're never going to be able. Founders at Paisley.
So how much? And
We are raising $500 right now. We're very self-aware that we do have some traction. Every single nonprofit I've spoken to has said yes, that they want this button. So yeah, we're raising $500 to get some milestones done, get some traction, and then open the next million of the million tranche of our seed on a convertible.
So I understand that this is useful for making a plan, and then once a certain amount of money is earned, then the plan can be executed. But is this actually, and I might have missed if you said it, is it actually linking up to different financial accounts and then automating transactions? And how is it able to have the appropriate encryption as well as permissions from so many different systems?
Yeah, we definitely have to watch we have to be in compliance because we're conducting all of these transactions, but we are piggybacking off existing infrastructures. So we plug in, we make sure that we watch our P's and Q's and are in alignment, and we're sending transmissions through, and it's all basically tokenized. So we say this person's account does this. So Paisley is not a fintech app in that sense that we're not like a bank. We are more like an air traffic controller. We're more like your intern that you say, pay it when I have this much in my account. And we call up and say, hey, you need to put this through. So we connect to your bank. We connect to over 9,000 banks. We piggyback off of a data aggregation company that provides authentication to be able to make sure that that account is that person's account. We use another party that we run queries through KYC and AML databases to make sure that you're not a money launderer, known money launderer, or that him next to your name. So we're using the top partners that we can get access to, and then we're just making sure that we handle our own security. So it's like, imagine PayPal with a brain, and that brain talks to you and knows what you want.
How do you make money?
We charge what PayPal charges. We're matching their transaction fees for institutions. So in a nonprofit, we're making 2.2% plus 30 cents on a transaction. So that's one way. We also have an advisor section, which is similar to what Acorns has, where in Found Money, where you can go in, you can look at all these offers, and if you accept an offer, we'll put an extra $20 in your savings account. We'll make an affiliate fee. So we're vetting all those offers to make sure that we're putting non-predatory offers in front of our users.
Hi. So is your goal to be the AI assistant for finance?
Yes, there is. That's funny that you asked. This last week, we just purchased Pays.ai. Pays.ai is our it's in between our holding company and Paisley. It's all of our intelligence. And so I actually also coined a term this week on Urban Dictionary. It's called a YI. A YI is a your intelligence. And that is, if there was a Turing test for a YI, your mom and your friends would be on the other side, and they'd be chatting with the YI, and if they thought it was you, that would be a YI. It's something that does tasks that only a human can do, but only what you would do as an individual. And so Paisley is a YI tech. We actually know how you want your money handled.
Okay.
So we can execute that. And we have that because of our conversation-like interface that you saw has a conversation. We're not a one-click solution. I don't believe in that. That's the antithesis of Paisley. We get to know you a little bit. It might take 2 minutes, but we know just what you like when you want. So yeah, the AI piece that lays on top of the YI piece is where we look at your account and we go, I see that you just had three $300 transactions to mom in the last couple months. Do you want to create a Paisley plan for that? So we're making sure that we respect people as individuals and at the same time are going to be there in a non-invasive way to help them.
Okay, so I've got a couple of questions.
Sure, okay.
I know that people have questions as well. So you have machine learning built in here, so you're learning how to, learning about me, how I operate and how I want to function. You currently focus on paying off debts. That's what the presentation I kind of got out of that. And so your goal is to transition into more, so like investment would be another option, like paying money to my friends would be another option. I mean, you're already doing that, but kind of taking other functions in my financial world, right?
I couldn't have planted a better question asker in the audience because this is really these are the best questions. Paisley is an engine. It's like an entity you can talk to and say, I want money to go from point A to point B like this. It's really simple. When I have a little bit of money, these plans are running, and only those plans. When I have a little bit more money, these plans are running. When I'm killing it, I'm saving for my Bugatti, my frickin' my house on Kauai. All of my dreams are starting to save for those too, and all the while, so it doesn't matter point A and point B. The vision is I'd like you to be able to plug in your Venmo, your PayPal, your bank account, obviously, and then create plans that go through our settings section to any destination that has an API that wants to play open source. So where's Divy? I'd love to be able to feed money to Divy. to your Divy account. You toggle it open and you sign in.
We'd love to have you.
Let's see you after class. Bitcoin. You know, we shake hands with Coinbase and we say, boom, toggle open Coinbase, log in. If you don't have a Coinbase account, click sign up. We're not going to do lead generation. We'll do customer generation, right? So now we've got all kinds of ways that we're doing things that nobody else has ever done. And we're at Grand Central Station for money movement. We're just intelligently piping money around the internet. So I'd like to be platform agnostic.
Right. This seems to me like almost like a platform for microlearning. So I'm wondering whether you've got plans to connect to any of the existing or to form your own.
I'd like other people to handle that. If we could hook up to
Because if Debbie needs money, maybe it's not just mom that can give it, right? Maybe I can give her money.
Right.
Because there's a little something in it.
Right. Well, I haven't even gotten into the way that you can nest plans. You can have plans feed plans, and that is really cool. I mean, if you're a nerd, you're going to freak out. What aspect? Oh, so can you repeat the question?
Yeah, I'm just wondering if you have concrete plans to make this into a microlending platform, or if you're connecting to microlending platforms.
We need more money to do that. Yeah. To be able to, and I mean, what a cool platform it would be if we could just say in the app you can ask mom for a loan and then have a built-in repayment plan that's flexible, and so she's like.
Or just ask for money and then have the crowd fund you.
That would be another thing that I'd like to hear your ideas on. But anytime the four-letter word loan comes into the picture, you're next. Then the Fed puts its magnifying glass on you, and then we're under this whole other league of
Regulatory.
Yeah, and so I'm game, and with the right people, the right partners. The right people on my team, we're just handling what we know we can right now.
Last question?
Oh, sorry. Do you have like a top 5 banks or institutions you want to guarantee before you release? You stated like as long as they're open source, we'll connect to it. Who are you connecting to make sure if they're not open source?
Name a bank. I doubt you can name a bank in this room that we're not connected to today.
Credit unions?
Yes.
Like all of them? Or
Many.
What's the back end then?
The back end is sitting after class.
Okay.
I'm happy to tell you. Yeah.
Okay.
Do you see an opportunity for an educational component to this?
I would love that. I mean, when I was in 7th grade, I would learn to balance a checkbook. I would love it if my 7th grade teacher today was teaching me how to use Paisley, so that I could be in financial integrity.
That's what
I would love that, and anybody that has any leads on connecting us through to that, I'd love to be on Khan Academy with demos in our advisor section where we're connecting people through to offers. We're also offering tutorials to tell people how to get the most out of their plan. Teach people about the golden rule to save 10% of all your earnings to become wealthy. I think that I'm going to stop hoarding the stage, and thank you.
Thanks a lot, Paisley. Paisley, the handle again?
Personalize your cash flow.
Okay.
Yeah. Oh, my handle. That's
Paisley.
PAYSLY app at Twitter.
Cool. All right, so we got Divy up right now.
What's going on?
Austin from Divy.
So I'm going to set this thing up. Didn't want to ruin the Paisley branding, you know. So my name's Austin. I am the corporate project manager for Divy. So Divy is an app that is currently in beta and is available in the App Store. So I'm going to set up my computer and connect up to my monitor and demo the live app that you guys can all download today if you want.
So get your questions lined up. Meanwhile. zoom into the app right here before he talks. Some artificial intelligence, some Tesla, alt energy, medical devices. Give me some hearts here. Let's see some hearts going.
Very cool. Thank you for bearing with me. So my name's Austin. Graduated from Virginia Tech a couple years ago and took a job with some very great bosses who started this company called Divy. So Divy was founded in 2015. We're a seed-funded startup. Currently raised $3.5 million. So we have an app in the App Store. We have a broker-dealer subsidiary. So we are able to trade and clear all of our own stock and equity purchases. We've got a team of about 12 people. 6 of them are programmers. Love them to death. Our founder was the CEO and general manager of Disney Interactive Media in the 90s. Ended up creating a licensing business for for Disney. That's actually a slip of the tongue that happens often at work. So he comes at this with a very media-focused background, and a background that's really interested in bringing the world of investments and equities to the general public, right? Everybody kind of knows the barriers to entry for all of our own, fintech pursuits, right? This is not necessarily something that, the average Joe is interested in. Maybe not something that the average Joe is interested in pursuing or, kind of checking out on his own. So the typical barriers to entry for self-directed investment platforms like Divy are really the cost, right, and the knowledge. So I think knowledge is the big one, at least in the equities and investment section of this room, right? So people are kind of intimidated by investing for the first time, getting involved for the first time. So Divy really seeks to address these barriers by, number one, lowering the cost of buying a share. So on Divy, you can buy a fraction of any stock on the stock market that you want, in real time, right? So that includes, Berkshire, that's A and B. That includes Priceline is, in the $1,500, $1,600. It includes Apple and Tesla, the poster children of, kind of stocks is like, oh, you're going to buy a first stock, buy a blue chip. Not everybody can afford a blue chip their first time out, right? So that's kind of where I wanted to start and just set the stage for this. So I'm going to take you guys through this app. Divy is really an app that seeks to bring more people into this, into this world, because we do believe that there is an intelligent investor in all of us. So I'm going to open up the version that's currently available on the App Store, log in with my thumbprint, and let's get into my account right here. I'm on the Wi-Fi, which is slow. So this is the landing page. This is a portfolio. So right now on my account, you can see that I've already got a moderately sized portfolio. I'm a young guy, just started investing. But check out all of the companies that I own. I've got eBay, Bank of America, Under Armour, BMW, Vanguard. I own a piece of all of these companies, and that's made possible because of the investment model that Divy brings to the table. So what we want to make available is just this concept that you can search and explore and discover new companies, right? Just based on the things around you. So we've taken this media perspective, right, of our founder, Mark Tarrant, and we've introduced categories and curated these based on different market sectors, different ideas, just things that you might search on your own. When Coachella was going on, we had a category called Coachella. It's all the companies that are publicly traded that are sponsoring the music festival. So we can dive into any of these, companies still run by founders, artificial intelligence. Let's see, let's go back up to the top. So there's some of these that are live, right? Like in the news.
So what are those exactly? Are those like ETFs or
no? So these are individual stocks. So
okay.
We do have competitors in our space who present ETFs as individual stock picks. That's not us. These are not ETFs. This is not fake. You have access to all the stocks and equities traded on the stock market right here at your fingertips. So we can dive into in the news. Companies, Wells Fargo, always embroiled in scandal. We can check out Wells Fargo, right? So we'll open up their company page here. At the top, I'm going to tap this invest icon. Brings it open. I can watch this stock and add it to my list. And we've got photos and stuff of the company. You've got the business description, market sector information, right? You can tap this button, it'll take you to news about the company. So what we're looking at right here is the company profile page. This is really part of the search and discover experience. We want you to be able to approach all of these different things that might be a little bit intimidating. So part of that is addressed right here. So you see we have day range, 52-week range, PE ratio. PE ratio, everybody in here probably knows what it is, right? What if you don't? Tap on it. Here comes the glossary. So we have a glossary that's built into every single one of these things, tells you what it is, why it's valuable. It's really fun with the ETFs. You can buy ETFs on here as well. Even some of the more advanced metrics like EBITDA, those really intimidating things. We want to take that out of the equation and teach you as you're going. Down at the bottom of the company profile page here, you see our competitors. See like Santander Bank, open it up. Here's a comparison of how Santander Bank is done against Wells Fargo. You can see these two lines tracking, and we can even jump right into their company profile page by tapping that blue button if we want. I'm going to X out of this and go back to the Wells Fargo page. Here's Tim Sloan, CEO. We can tap it, just in case, I'm going to tap this again. Here's a CEO letter to shareholders, so you can really understand the perspective of the people who are leading these companies, see who you're investing in. So I guess on a high level, I don't want to say that more media makes it more approachable, but when you're able to search and explore based on things that you see in the world around you, it really makes it easier to get involved. So I'm going to give you an example. I like music, Beats by Dre, Dr. Dre, great guy. So we have a nodal database that has over 30,000 individual data points that we've built ourselves. So I search Beats headphones, you'll notice it comes up with Beats. Brand, product, or subsidiary of Apple Incorporated. So I tap it. Here's a product card that explains to you what Beats is, just a short blurb. And you can tap on it. That blue button takes you directly into Apple Incorporated. So you can search by, maybe you see Matthew McConaughey is in a Lincoln Continental commercial, and you're like, wow, he's really spaced out, but who owns Lincoln? It'll take you to GM, take you to Ford. You can look at all of the competitors, all the different companies. So imagine if you can just see something in real life, Colgate toothpaste, and search it, and it takes you to the company that owns it, whether it's Unilever or somebody else. We've got that.
So how is that? Explain it to them, because I don't think a lot of these people really know how innovative that is versus typically how you typically do it right now on most
on a
apps.
lot of, you can search, right? So I'll do one typical search, AAPL, right?
So typically,
that'll take you to Apple.
Yeah, so typically you got to really know.
You can also
either
search
the
Apple.
The ticker symbol.
Yeah, the symbol or maybe the company name versus.
So I'll search Apple here, right? Great point.
Yeah.
Thank you, by the way. I love these.
So it's
So here's all the things that have Apple in. You have Apple Music, Apple TV, Apple Jacks. If you want to go to Kellogg's, we'll go to Kellogg's. So anyway, I'm going to show you guys real quick how to buy a stock. Promise it's super simple.
So it kind of really thumbs it down to a very low level. So if you have no background in finance or stocks or whatnot, and you're just, I like this company, I don't know the ticker, you just enter some keywords and bam.
And part of the fun of it is, and you know what, I'll buy this stock and then I'll take you guys over to the news feed. But part of the fun for me is like I do have an economics degree, whatever, but I've never been an investments guy, right? I've always been an environmental economics guy, kind of more socially conscious. We do have CSR information, corporate social responsibility information built into most of these companies. So you can go, to Dow Chemical and even see what they're doing to be proactive about their role in the community, be proactive about how they're approaching their business model, right? So I just closed down. So I'm going to buy a piece of Kellogg. I'm going to tap the invest button, and then this comes down. I'm going to hit buy right here. It's going to come up, and let's see. I've got buying power. I've got 27 free bucks. Maybe I'll buy $20 of this stock, right? Confirm the order, and the market is closed right now. We all know, but that's as easy as it is. So it'll buy that order in the morning. So our commissions, one of the common questions: how do you make money, right? So we do two types of orders: is window trades and real-time trades. Our commission on window trades is 1% of whatever the amount of stock is. So in this case, it'll be 20 cents commission. And I guess it's not coming up right now because the market's closed. And if I wanted to buy it real time, it's 3%. Now 1%, 3%, pretty solid starting point for your low commissions. but those also have a cap on them. So it's 1% capped at $1. You're never going to spend more than $1 with a window trade. I can buy $10,000, $20,000 of whatever stock I want. It's $1. If I want to do it in real time, I can buy $10,000 of it. It's going to be $3. If I buy $30 of it, it's not going to. Yeah, it drops down. So we're going to jump over to the news feed here. It's actually kind of a fun feature. This really gets into the search, explore, discover, find new companies, find new ideas. Try to make this as approachable as possible. I don't know how many of you guys read Finimize. It's actually just came up. We've got Finimize RSS feed built into the app. That's another thing that millennials are really into. You can read about the Fed, read about blah 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 blah. Who's making the news feed today? I don't know. Always news, always things that are driving the market, right? So as far as company news, is this other tab here that I'm going to swipe to. These are the companies that I'm invested in. This is the news feed that's driving my market value. So I'm an investor in Nike. You'll see Nike is right here at the top. We've got Seeking Alpha on here. We've got news articles from Zacks. We've got news articles that pull in from CNBC. We've really got a wide net of different information that's being pulled into this app. So I'm going to probably slow down here and open it up for questions. But those are the main, I think, touch points of what our beta product is capable of today. So go for it.
I'm just curious, you just showed your real profile for investments. Do you have any plans of making a shareable social network platform where you can actually share your picks, what you decide to invest in?
That is a great question. So Divy was originally introduced as the social community where you will be able to learn, connect, and invest with your friends.
Right.
After incorporating our subsidiary broker-dealer, hiring a very great chief compliance officer who got us through our first FINRA audit in less than 3 days, God bless him, we also discovered that FINRA is very, very picky about how you manage financial social networks. So we've taken that component out of the app, but there is a whole new fourth button here at the bottom for your social feed. So we built it, we introduced it, and then there were a lot of strings attached. So we pulled it back and wanted to make sure that for our beta product, we were able to best execute the core competencies of the app, which are really searching, exploring, discover, and buying and trading stocks on a dollar-based system, that fractional share, right? So what we do have built, and what will be implemented into the app before the end of the summer, is a social feed whereby, and of course you opt into it, right?
Right.
Just in case for you guys. So you buy a stock, it shows up in your social feed. You can see, me, Austin Himes, and Joe Smith, my friend Joe Smith has bought, GM. I can comment on it, I can like it. It's really the pared down version of Facebook. We don't want to get too crazy with it, but we really love the idea that, if I'm a parent saying I've got 2 kids, right? I can have them with accounts that I have some kind of control over, even if they're not 18. You can have custodial accounts with Divy, by the way. So I can connect with my kids, right, and teach them in a small way. You can buy stocks $10 at a time. You can set a limit on how much they buy, right? And then the social network, the social feed, I think is a really, really great way to engage with people and continue that discovery process. So absolutely, we definitely want to do it. It'll be in the app before the end of the summer, and we're tiptoeing around certain regulations right now.
Sure. Thanks.
Great question.
Nice.
Jacob?
Yeah, since you're trying to make investing open to the public, is there any reason why you went with the commission model instead of selling order flow like Robinhood?
So, number one, I think this model gives us a lot more financial freedom. I will admit that I am one of the junior members of the team, and I can't totally speak to why we didn't go with the order flow model, other than we did write our own order management system. Order management systems are pretty expensive to license, so we were able to build our own. Our clearing partner is Apex Clearing Corporation, same as Robinhood's. And this model just, I think, is more clear-cut in terms of how to make money. Because, Robinhood gets that question all the time, how do you make money? Is this going to be profitable? We're very upfront about it. We got a commission, 1%, 3%, capped at $1 or $3. And it gives us a lot of freedom in terms of how we operate our broker dealer.
So do we get a fractional share certificate for it? Or how does the settlement work? You're going to buy it from one quantity, right? That's how you're going to do it. So if I, the only one who's buying a fractional, so you're going to top it up and buy one quantity and then keep it with you. How does share certificate is going to come to me? as
What was
an
that last
individual?
part?
Share certificate is going to come to me.
Share
electronic
certificate.
certificate.
So in the sidebar, we do have all of your trade confirmations right here. So you do have a record of certificate of ownership, et cetera. But I would, in terms of conceptualizing it, I would say that think of it like when you make a deposit in a bank, right? Maybe you're taking $100 of cash and putting it in the ATM, but they're not putting it in a box with your name on it. This is applying that same concept to the world of equities and stocks. Is when you buy a mutual fund, or if you buy, in our case, fractional shares, our computer programs just allocate a decimal point to your name. So as far as
So it's like a
certificates,
fund which you are operating, which works in Bitwin. So we don't actually buy the share, the fractional share.
So let me be very clear. You own 100% this product. I'm not going to name names. There is one competitor in our space who trades and holds things in kind of a holding account through this bank in the nation of China. We don't do that. So we are very focused on ownership, very focused on transparency. We really want to be the group that gives you ownership over this fractional share, concept, no strings attached.
When you say ownership in this product, are you saying in Divy or in
In
individual
the equities, in the individual stocks.
Okay.
So, for example, if you buy, a collection, we intend to implement a feature that is also currently under review with FINRA, whereby you can just push a button, and in one of our categories, you remember the block system and stuff, you can just buy all the categories in that stock, right? Our categories are actually individually curated stocks and not ETFs. So instead of you push, buy, and you actually own one share of an ETF, which just happens to be 0.33 shares of X stock, this is actually you owning that stock. So that's kind of what I mean by, there's no gimmick here, if that makes sense. There are many players in the fintech space that are doing things very similar to this. We don't want to take shortcuts. We want you to actually own your product, own your equity. Does that make sense?
And be able to sell it again.
And great point. Be able to sell it when you want. Yeah, go for it.
Two keywords for you: artificial intelligence and also augmented reality.
Okay.
So
Curious to see where it goes.
I kind of know where it's going. So I mean, I love the presentation. Helping us average Joe to figure out ideas where to invest in. But sometimes we have too much information, and you can be paralyzed by that information, and you don't know what to do. Are you going to Are you going to automate it somehow? Also, are you going to incorporate AR? Because you can be walking. Hey, today I'm going to walk and buy something. I put my phone up, I'll take a photo. Oh, here it is. Oh, well, this particular restaurant is owned by this company. I can invest in this company.
So we do have a lot of ideas, in that space. And absolutely, talk to me after this. I'm going to connect you with our CTO, Baron Reichard von Wolfschild. He's brought over 200 consumer products in the blue chips, Fortune 500 companies to market. And there are a couple things that I'm not going to say out loud that are definitely on the table. It's all about the right partner. One of the things that I did want to mention that we are working on. You guys heard of Trade It? Anybody? So Trade It is basically, cutting the jargon, right? It's basically a plugin that allows you to log into an app using your brokerage account, basically from wherever you are. So if you're on, Fidelity, and so I'll extend this example actually. So Divy's going to implement Trade It. So what we want you to be able to do is to log into your Fidelity account on our app and use our app as your search and explore and discover platform. And if we do have a partnership with Fidelity, it is possible for us to make our fractional share model and our commissions available to you. But one of the products that are very much on the way, but also speaks more to this conceptual idea of what is Divy. We want to be that open platform where people can just do whatever they want. Really, it's we want you to have the power to search whatever you want, do whatever you want, and if we're able to extend our commission structure to you because of a partnership with your brokerage, that's great. If not, We have a subsidiary broker-dealer, Divy Equities. So
That's awesome.
yeah.
I have a quick question. Do users get access to the company's financial statements through the app? And because I remember you mentioned
Like a
10K or 10Q or like the documents from
So-
Stuff from Edgar.
So all of the publishing documents, there is an e-documents tab in the top of here, and you can also, Divy.com on your computer, on your laptop, you can access all of these things. So I'm going to say yes to your question. I'm going to extend your question and say, unless you own a full share, you won't be able to execute your voting rights. But yes, absolutely, definitely. And also those documents are available to anybody online who wants them as a matter of public record.
How do you handle taxes, things like that? Do I get documents from you guys, forms, or do I have to do all that on my own?
That is a great question. And I'm going to go into the sidebar here, scroll all the way down to Account e-Documents, click on Tax Reports, and let's see. Do I have any 1099s for this account? How long has it been open? Here's 2 of them.
Oh, there you go, Uncle Sam.
So they're right here. I would not advise trying to... What's that?
It's emailed to me, or
You do get an email notification, and you can log on to Divy.com on your computer and view the full PDF there. Not everybody wants to squint at their iPhone, right?
Got it.
But by the way, Android app is almost done. I'm an Android guy myself, love it. It's going to be done by the end of the month.
Oh, nice. Congrats.
Heads up.
Awesome.
But yeah, great question. Other question? Yeah, what's up?
So if you're a brand new investor, why would you choose Divy over something that's more intuitive for an individual's lifestyle as a non-investor, say Acorns?
Great question. So Acorns and Divy, right? So a lot of people will say, who's your biggest competitor to Divy, right? So there are the Robin Hoods of the world, but I really think the robo-advisors are where the most competition is, because groups like Acorns is really a set it and forget it system. So if you want to set it and forget it, if you want something that is low engagement, absolutely it's different product. My pitch to you as a millennial, right? So I would say this is the first app that I know of in this space. We do a lot of diligence work. This is really built by millennials for millennials. We've had 2 summers of college interns. I worked for the first time with my boss as an intern, and we did a lot of A/B testing, a lot of group discussion, trying to figure out what people in our age want, right? So we're trying to build this engaging thing that, using this nodal database where you can search a product, brings you into the world of financial investments in a way that's not possible on another app. So we do want to expand our node database so that you can search things that are much more broad, right? So we've already got, I guess artificial intelligence is one that's built in. You can search artificial intelligence and come up with all kinds of different companies and brands and products that are involved with it. So I would say the depth and richness of the media content, the depth and richness of the news feed really makes this an all-in-one solution for people who are looking to learn and read about news and kind of see the company as a whole, as opposed to a company as a spreadsheet or a balance sheet. Does that kind of answer your question?
Yes.
Very cool.
Which companies,
What's up, Val?
which stocks listed companies you give all? Listed
What's up?
companies. Which listed stocks which we can buy?
Anything on the NASDAQ NYSE, all of them, except for penny stocks.
No restrictions?
No restrictions.
That was my question. Can you buy pink sheets and bullet?
No pink sheets. We're not about that. Val, what's up?
I just want to have a quick question about the learning aspect. So you mentioned like Acorn is kind of like the autopilot version, right? Just like set it, forget it. Like I don't want to know. It's there.
And I will say Acorns has a lot of good points. That's just my opinion.
Sure. And I actually have it. So I understand what you're saying. But is there an in-between of like, you're kind of new to this, but I know you kind of want to learn. Here's like a Google Primer style, maybe walk through step by step of getting to understand what these things mean. I know you do have a help or a legend or sort of like
The glossary
tips
thing?
glossary. But what if it was more of an educational walkthrough for those who are still starting out but wants to go in this direction, not the online?
Great question. So we would love to give our users more guidance, and that is going to require becoming a registered investment advisor. So what we have been working on is building our tutorials in a way that is FINRA compliant and that doesn't really step into that territory of needing to be a registered investment advisor, because what I would like for people, you know, in my income level and my age bracket. Is like, I know that the sooner, and we know that, right? It's all about that compound interest. The sooner you start investing, the better you are, you know, down the road. So we definitely want to introduce as many of these features as possible, and we're trying to work on just making sure that it's within the lines. So yes and kind of no, but great question. Really appreciate it. Yeah, what's up?
Okay, I think it's really great to have this whole setup where you're getting to learn about all of these companies and stuff, and then you buy, and then let's say 6 months later, 3 months later, a year later, you want to sell. Then what? What happens?
It is 2 taps to sell any stock that is in your portfolio. Great question. You have to select it and press sell.
Quick question. Earlier.
Yeah, what's up?
So I was looking at it, and I couldn't really see from here, but it shows you the whole stock. Are you only buying fractions, or can you just buy the whole stock at one time? That's the first question.
So our order management system is set up on a dollar-based system.
Okay.
So if you want to buy the entire share, the way that we do it is we have $10 Divy units. We think it's kind of cute, right? So you can buy any stock in multiples of $10. So if you know, the stock that you want to buy happens to be exactly a multiple of 10, it is possible. But the honest answer for you is no. It's all.
Okay.
If you want to buy a full share, you got to select to buy more than the value of a current full share.
Gotcha.
Divvy up.
Yeah. We do divvy up the shares between our users. By the way, the order management system does not require, you know, me and Tico to both want to buy the same stock at the same time. It splits the difference, and we've got a slush account that handles it. So you're not restricted by anybody other than, you're not restricted by anything other than your inhibitions, right?
Last question from my side.
I appreciate it. It's great.
As an individual, what's the risk for me? Because one, if I look at it, I'm not actually buying the stock, okay? Because I'm buying the DV unit of stock.
So I'm going to cut that out. You are buying the stock. You're buying exactly as much of the stock as you would own if you were in a mutual fund, right? So when you get your mutual fund statement, it gives you a fractional share of every single stock. So just to cut the legs out from that assumption.
So my exit is always with you. That's the bottom line. So unless conventional,
we are
when
your
I buy
broker
stock,
dealer. So just
I can
like your
actually sell
exit
it
is
in
with
the market.
just like your exit is with TD Ameritrade when you sell with TD Ameritrade, your exit is with Divvy Equities when you exit with Divvy Equities. Somebody's got to go through the back end sales.
It's like a REIT for stocks.
I'm gonna disagree, but maybe. What's up, James? Oh yeah, go for it.
So based on your, I know you talked about millennials, and based on your cost structure, this is a volume play, right?
Absolutely.
So it can't just be millennials, right?
Absolutely.
So there's something going on here that you're probably not going to tell us, but is it the differentials or is it the cost structure? What is going to make it attractive to me, who's a regular investor, who knows everything? I don't need the folksy kind of stuff. I would like to be able to buy partial shares, and I do like your cost structure. So how does that play into your overall?
So I would say that really, I don't know if this is the main reason across the company, but the main reason as I see it for marketing towards millennials is that is the current age group and demographic that statistically is in the income level that can most benefit from fractional shares, dollar-based investing. And that is the demographic that is statistically most likely to not already have an account. They're also most likely to just kind of get the app as it is. Personally, so some of our first beta testers were all the parents of the young guys. My mom loves this app, and she loves it particularly because my twin sister and I both interact with her on this app. My sister, brilliant, lawyer, not a financial bone in her body. But this stuff with us, with our app, we were able to create a platform where it's approachable enough for her to be comfortable with asking that question and interacting with, my mom and my dad and with me, really building that, community around the same thing, the same app, the same structure, kind of introducing that. So personally, I think that this is an app for everybody. I think this is an app for kind of freedom. It can even be like an extra thing on the side. Like maybe you want something, throw $10,000 in it, $20,000 in it. and do some self-directed trading, even if your even if your investment fund is managed by an outside group. So while we do market towards millennials, I totally agree with the premise that this is something for everybody.
Quick question.
Yeah, Julian and G.
So with the fractional shares, if I buy the stock and the dollar goes up to 100 or whatever, and I want to move it out, I have to sell it if I want to move it out, right?
Can you repeat the question?
If let's say I want to take business, if I want to go from Divy to E-Trade, I have to sell my shares, right?
You can do an ACATS transfer if you want.
You can do what?
Account transfer.
Yeah, there is a federal. There's a federal.
It's called
form you can fill out
ACAT.
if you want.
But even with the fractional shares,
Yeah,
you can
ACATs.
There'll be real whole shares that you'll move.
Yeah.
So even though you gave me a fractional, all of a sudden it's going to become a whole share?
That would be magic, and no.
That's what I'm asking. That's the question.
I'm in.
Do you guys have an option where I can buy, say, Tesla at whatever it's at, and I can come up and say, I don't want to watch it every single day. If it gets to 700, I want you to sell it?
So we are working on, this is like, one of the many great ideas, right, that we would love to implement immediately with our finite resources. But stop loss measures, like certain measures that'll trigger a sell, so cool. I love it, and definitely want to see that in Divy within the next year, and I think that's totally going to happen. That's a super cool feature. And the stop loss particularly, because that's a little bit, on the downside as opposed to the upside, right? You got to protect yourself.
Right.
So great question, man.
Dividends.
So dividends are paid into your account. We currently do not automatically reinvest them, but absolutely you get the fractional dividend, which is owed to you as the consumer, user, and owner of that fractional share.
Awesome.
Cool. Well,
one more, Steve.
Voting rights.
So if you own an entire share, you vote with a proxy vote. It's like an online thing. A lot of people are probably familiar with it. But if you own a fractional share, no voting rights.
You waive your rights to vote.
Yeah, we would need to write some kind of software where you can vote for a fractional vote.
A test. A test.
But it doesn't exist yet, but maybe a plugin down the road. Anyway, thank you guys very much for your attention.
What's your Twitter handle?
So it's Divy.com. We do have an Instagram and we have a Facebook. Feel free. And if you guys want, there's a promo code you can use to get $10 to start.
Well, what's the promo?
So the promo code I'm going to use is FIN10, FIN10. You need a code to get onto the beta app, right? So I'm going to give you guys a code, FIN10, FIN10. We'll get you access to the beta, and it'll put $10 in your account.
Cool. Yep. So thanks a lot, everyone, and get ready for the fast pitch coming up right now.
Yeah. Thanks, man. Appreciate it.